why. Yeah.
All right. First, let's start with President Trump flip-flopping all over the place. First, let's start with his claim that the group of migrants who are working their way up in this quote-unquote caravan, some of them are Middle Easterners. What's going on there?
The president said this the other day. He was asked to explain it, and he didn't. And the administration has been asked many times to say, where is the evidence of that? And they've kind of, responded in a broad way. Sarah Sanders said, absolutely, there's evidence. Well, what is it? They didn't give it. And yesterday, the president conceded he doesn't have proof of this. He says they very well could be a part of the caravan, but there's no proof of anything. I think if you step back a little bit, the evidence of this, the statements from the president, what is very clear is that the president is going to use this caravan as a rallying cry for Republican voters heading into the midterm elections. He's going to find a way to talk about this every day, either a tweet or a public statement. He's certainly getting a lot of questions still about it. And as we've seen from Republicans, and we've talked to former Trump campaign advisors and Republican strategists who have called this a political gift for their party heading into this very critical election.
All right, that's where that is. Now, let's talk about his comments about Saudi Arabia and this the investigation there. He's talking almost, and I don't mean this as disrespectful, but he's almost talking like Tony Soprano in terms of retribution for all of this.
Yeah, and I don't think his comments yesterday really clarified what he's thinking on this, what he's planning on doing. He yesterday called the Khashoggi situation one of the worst cover-ups ever. He said they had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly. The cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. And he said somebody really messed up, and they should be in trouble. He was asked later whether he meant that the cover-up should have been better. What was he signaling there that he didn't like about this? The murder or how they handled it. And he said it should never have happened. Again, still talking about the cover-up, but he did call this a total fiasco from day one. Whoever put this in their minds, it was not a good thought. But we still don't have any more on what's going to actually happen. The president seems to be pushing the can each day a little bit more. We're waiting for more information. Last week it was the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo's in the region. When he gets back, we'll talk about it. Now it's the CIA director who was in Turkey this week. When she gets back, we'll have more information about the investigation. But I think it's pretty clear. The president is not right now publicly indicating he's leaning towards fierce, harsh sanctions on the kingdom or doing anything that would disrupt or water down that weapons deal he announced last year with the Saudis.
Yeah, I'm almost expect him to talk about the espionage with the no-show jobs and that he needs to keep that going on with Saudi Arabia, right? They need to be punished, but, boy, let's not touch the arms deals.
And, they is also the interesting part of this, too. Who is they that need to be punished? We heard the Secretary of State yesterday say that the visas of some of the officials who were implicated in this would be revoked. But the president has made it very clear from day one that he believes the king and crown prince when they tell him they had nothing to do with it. He said yesterday that the crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, told him it was at a lower level. And that's just been greeted with incredible skepticism by experts in the region and Republicans on Capitol Hill who say there is just no way that the crown prince, perhaps the king might not have known, but the crown prince is effectively in charge there. There were officials who were in Turkey, you can see the videos of them, who are very close to him. It's just hard to imagine how he wouldn't have any knowledge of this.
Karen Travers, ABC News correspondent at the White House. Karen, thanks.
Have a great day.